Welcome to the Winning Edge Investments Podcast. Winning Edge Investments provides industry-leading horse racing and sports betting tips, ratings and education, enabling you to invest intelligently and treat your betting like a business. Go to www.winningedgeinvestments.com to learn more about how you can start to supercharge your betting bank immediately. Treat your betting like a business and invest intelligently with Winning Edge Investments.
WinningEdgeInvestments.com tips, ratings and betting education for racing and sports. Dean Evans joins us this Friday. G'day, Dino.
Good morning, Gareth. How you going?
Well done, mate, last week. We owe you a couple of beers, brother. You nailed Lindemann. You got the speed map right and away he went. And Apocalyptic as well, $5.80. So it was a fill-up for your subscribers and the listeners to giddy up with your insights there last week. Well done.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, Lindemann was a great result, $11 or $12, and did what seems to happen in that race every year. Just the on-pace fit horse coming to the fore, but some really good buns behind him, Sir Delius and Vauban for the Cups, maybe even the Cox Plate for Sir Delius. They were both really good as well.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go to a Underwood next week, Sir Delius, on towards a Turnbull Stakes, Cox Plate, Melbourne Cup, and your fellas going to the Caulfield Cup. Did you have a look at the nominations there the other day?
Yeah. It's I think the interesting thing is going to be how the weights spring out. So we're all really looking forward to. I think it's
you'll get 58 and a half, I reckon. Is that what you worked out?
Well, that seems to be what they're saying, but it's it's light on at the top there. So how that weight spread will be, they've sort of changed the rules a bit on the weight spreads as well. So it's obviously going to be very intriguing and really impact the makeup of that race. So really intrigued in what they're going to do with all of those weights in a few days.
Well, I think Arapaho, that'll be announced on Tuesday. He looks like he's 115, but this is just the Australian ratings, and obviously the handicapper takes in time for them. So they'll debate amongst themselves. So this is just a gut feel. But he probably gets the 59 when they're released on Tuesday. Your fella 58 and a half, I reckon. Vauban.
Yeah.
And I don't know who was the other horse was with Vauban. Buckaroo was the other one.
But
in saying that, Caulfield Cup top weights have had a pretty good record in recent times.
Yeah, they have. It's not outside the realm.
No.
And I think it's only that they have spread the weights out a bit more. So what some of those lightweight chances sort of get will be interesting. The ones that sneak in good form, they could be a fly in the ointment. Let's
have a look at the Maccabi Diva. This is the first race we'll preview with you, Dino. We've got $1.80 for Via Sistine, $1.85, Aliana $4.60. Continues to drift. Mr. Brightside's firmed into $5, and Antino's been up and down. Opened up at $7, touched $8 back into $7.50. Tom Kitten at $11, and Mark Twain, he's $126 this morning into 100 to 1 now. So he's had a little bit of backing, the Kiwi roughie. Your thoughts here on the Maccabi Diva, mate?
Really slow tempo here, I think. You got Mr. Brightside will probably jog out in front. Maybe Tom Kitten will be in the trail. Aliana and Via Sistina, I think, won't be too far away, sort of there, third and fourth, and then Antino. I think the interesting element of the race is does Blake Shinn sort of uses daring tactics on Antino like he did in Brisbane and in the Toorak, or is that something best saved for sort of third up or fourth up in the campaign when he's a bit fitter? It'll be interesting to see whether he does that or whether they just don't want to cook him too much in this race. But that could change complexion for the race if he decides to do that. Interesting that since this race has made a Group 1 over the last 12 years, a mare hasn't won it. We've had some high-profile mares go down. Obviously, Via Sistina went down last year as Pride of Jenny, and we had Mystic Journey at around that even money quote get beat a few years ago as well. Via Sistina is the obvious champion mare, 9 Group 1 wins from 11 Group 1 starts in Australia, but both her Group 1 defeats were when second up, so that does seem to be when she's most vulnerable. And she was the first 8-year-old mare to win a Group 1 since Tranquil Star in 1945 last start, though she's probably more like a 7-year-old being overseas and she's lightly raced. But, a horse we've spoken about that I think is really impressive is Aliana. She won the Derby by 5 lengths, but the last run over the Flemington Mile, she won the Carbine Club by 3.5 lengths and beat another Profit and Feroce, who both then won a Group 1 very shortly after. She's very unlucky, second in the Group 1 mile over 1,000 guineas. She's only beaten a neck by Via Sistina first up. I'm surprised that, she's drifting out to a really nice price. Looks like she might sort of touch $5 if she gets trending the way that she is. I still am not convinced about Mr. Brightside. I think he almost ran second by default. I think first up, sort of beat Buckaroo by half a length, and Fangirl didn't handle Caulfield. Antino was just sort of first up. He rated sort of 4 points below. He's been pretty consistently around 100, 101, in Australia the last couple of years, and he rated 97. So I just don't think he's going as well. And Antino, I just get the feeling he's sort of one run away, and prefers those sort of races with the hot speed, and then he can sort of make that mid-race move. So I'm keen on Aliana. I think it's a two-horse race. I think you could back Aliana and even save on Via Sistina at sort of even money if you like to play it safe. But I think Aliana at sort of $4.60 now, best price in the Smartodds comparison app, and potentially drifting, I think is a good bet.
All right, then Aliana to cause a bit of an upset and beat the stablemate Via Sistina, according to Dean Evans there. So let's have a look at the feature race at Rosehill, the Run to the Rose. It's a beauty this year, Dino. Raging Force with Bet365, $3.20, Woden $5, Tempted at $5.50, Skyhook $8, and then you get $11 for the Caulfield Guineas favourite Nepotism, and Biwak at $11 as well. How do you read this year's Run to the Rose?
Yeah, it's a good field, Gareth, like you said, and a big field, which is nice. Sometimes you get a smaller field in this sort of race, but there's plenty going here. I think I just think it's sort of horses at the database race is sort of on pace handy. Have won 3 from 50, but about a minus 50% loss on turnover, whereas horses sort of profiling midfield and back are 11 from 77 and positive there. So I think Raging Force it looks a bit of a lay to me. He had a bit of a freshen up, but he's essentially fourth up. He's been up since June. First run over 1,200. He's facing a pretty hot field here. I think he was lucky to win last time with Wotan's first up and sort of got cut out when he was making his run. I think there's two horses here, and the two horses I've sort of said were two horses to watch for the spring. The last few weeks, Woden, who ran second in Manala on the trial, was plus 3.1 the last 400. Second quickest the last 200 of open handicap trials on the track, and then was really unlucky second first up in the San Domenico. Much fitter here. He won his debut on a wet track. I think Woden's going to be very, very good here. And the other horse is Skyhook, who was second beaten the neck in the Rosehill 29 July trial. It was fifth quickest of 113 on the day, plus 6.9. And then he ran to that when he won the listed Rosebud for us first up on the wet track. So they can both handle the cutout. I think they profile perfectly for this race. And I think at around sort of 8,850 and 5,550 for the two of them. It's a good two-pronged attack in the race, where I think there's a bit of a false favourite.
Okay, so who's the best horse out of this race come tomorrow going forward?
I think Woden. I think he's going to be a big chance in the Golden Rose, but I really feel like the Coolmore is going to be his race. November at Flemington down the straight. I could see him just absolutely blasting them away, but like Switzerland did, and Chris Waller's and just an insane record in that race, and so do Coolmore in winning their own race. And I think Woden's the one to follow for the rest of the spring for sure. And you found a couple from the trials: Flemington race 1 tomorrow, Morphettville race 1. You want to play in those races? Yeah, in Flemington, there's a horse called Tonkin who we've followed her whole career. We've actually backed her in all 5 of her starts. She got beaten debut by a nose, but then she's won her last 4. She won a Crandon trial by plus 7.8, beating a sort of Sat Metro place getter who was hard ridden before her debut run. That told us that she was a pretty special type of mare, and she's sort of proven that with her race record. I think just first up here, obviously she's an artist, is a hot favourite. But in maiden win, she's an artist sort of rated an 83, and then her second up run rated 100, and so I just think if she's an artist is going to be vulnerable in a race, it's probably going to be the first up run. And I just see Tonkin, having had that first up win, just sprinting out, getting quite a strong lead here, and she's an artist is really going to have to reel her back. And I think that the sort of price discrepancy with Tonkin around $8.50 best price at the moment, I just think she looks a really, really good bet at Flemington. And the other one was a horse in Norfolkville race, one called Under and Over, who ran second to Cumin, beaten 1.3 lengths under absolutely no pressure in the Murray Bridge 1,000-metre trial, ran plus 8.1 the last 600, which is the quickest of 131 trials on the day. Cumin then came out and won a Group 3 first up. I think the horse was flying. It got an awful ride first up over 1,000 metres, was just sort of 4 wide, no cover throughout. Was just pushed forward, but I think second up here over 1,200, there's a bit of speed in this race, so if he can just settle in sort of the 1-1 hook out on the turn, I think Under and Over at around sort of $4 can just swoop over the top and beat them.
Beautiful, mate. Like the confidence there. And Vauban, as you pointed out, had a wonderful return there in the Chelmsford at Rose Hill or Randwick on Saturday. There's a great competition going on. So thanks to Winning Edge Investments, teaming up there with SEN. If you go to our website and go to competition, you get a chance to, first of all, have a small share in Vauban. I think it's 1% for the Caulfield Cup. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. It's popped down to sen.com.au/win. There's an ultimate race day out link there. And yeah, you get to be an owner for the day in Vauban, 1% of the prize money, which will get you up to $25,000 if he can win. And I think he's shot up to first or second favourite now after that slashing first up run. And then plus he won a $5,000 worth of tickets to your choice of either the Caulfield Cup or the Everest, where you'll just be treated like a king and queen for the day. Food, gourmet food, beverages, and a nice marquee set up the Caulfield Cup or the panoramas at Randwick, and fantastic day out there as well. So just got to chuck your details in there. Tell us in 25 words or less why you deserve the ultimate race day out, and you'll be in the running to win what's a really exciting prize. Yeah, it is a great price, and they are hot tickets, both the Everest and also at Caulfield for Cup Day. Hard to get those type of tickets there that you can win. Thanks to Winning Edge Investments, mate. So bring on the rest of the spring. We appreciate your work as well, and keep up that hot work, mate. Fantastic. Thanks, Gareth. Appreciate it. There's Dean Evans from Winning Edge Investments. WinningEdgeInvestments.com, tips, ratings and betting education for racing and sport.